ERC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
Hi, this is ABC 3340 meteorologist Brian Peters with you for this Weather Xtreme video for May the 27th. Let's get right to some sky cams as we've got lots of boundaries to look at. There's a look at Demopolis looking down the Tombigbee River. Very interesting shot this morning. A few clouds there in the western sky. Some clouds at Gadsden as we look out over the valley there from that high vantage point. And how about another high vantage point, Mount Cheaha? Some clouds left over from the storms yesterday. We have a front that's across the Ohio River Valley that will be migrating down into the southeastern U.S. and central Alabama, and that will be the focus for showers and thunderstorms over the next couple or 3 days, and we'll be watching that pretty closely. We have generally a ridge at 500 millibars over the area, but there are little ripples moving through that flow, those ripples helping to enhance showers and thunderstorms, and those ripples are kind of hard to find sometimes. We saw them yesterday with a couple of different ripples moving through. Now, on temperature-wise, it's pretty mild with actually 60s all the way from Massachusetts all the way down to West Texas, 60s and 70s, I should say. Certainly a mild, summerish type day, even though summer doesn't officially start for another almost 3 weeks. Temperatures across central Alabama this morning generally riding from about the mid-60s all the way up to the lower 70s, so a bit of an interesting change across temperatures, and we're not seeing as much of that wedge as we saw over the weekend and Memorial Day. Here is what the radar shows as the estimated storm precipitation for yesterday and last night. And indeed, the boundary seems to have been about I-20. If you were north of I-20, you certainly had a pretty good chance at some rain. If you were south of I-20, you didn't get much unless you were in the area of Pell City, and that seems to be the only spot that really got anything. QPF-wise, over the next 5 days, it looks like it's going to be a little bit stormy, a little bit rainy, with the QPF guys at HPC forecasting on the order of about 1 inch. But keep in mind, these are going to be showers, which means some of us may not have any rain over the next 5 days, while others get a good shower and get a good dosing. Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a slight risk area from about Tupelo back across Oklahoma and North Texas back into the Lubbock area. By day 2, that area, there is no specific slight risk area, but we're in an area where it looks like it could be marginally severe, and that looks pretty good, actually. And then the slight risk area on day 3 shifts back to Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska, and parts of Montana and Wyoming. So certainly a big shift. And then days 4 and 5, that area shifts off to the east, centered around, Chicago, Des Moines area, and then on day 4, and then on day 5, an elongated area across the Ohio River Valley. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run. And this is the 500 millibar pattern for today. And there's the GFS showing a couple of little things. You can see that little 12 over Alabama and another 12 up over Missouri. So we got these little short waves embedded in there, and indeed it looks like the GFS is forecasting the possibility of some showers, and that looks pretty good to us, and especially with all the boundaries we have left over from yesterday. Any one of those boundaries can help to be a focus. Look especially along I-20, because that seems to be the boundary between where rain occurred and where rain didn't occur. On Wednesday, the front gets down here finally, and looks like that's going to be a focus for showers and thunderstorms. On Thursday, the front meanders a little further south, and looks like still the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms. By Friday at 500 millibars, the ridge seems to be a little stronger, not in amplitude north and south, but certainly stretching all the way from eastern Cuba and the Bahamas all the way over to the Pacific. And with that on Friday, it looks like we should see kind of a suppression of showers and thunderstorms, and that actually looks pretty good, not to rule out the possibility that we couldn't see an isolated shower or two. By Saturday, we're beginning to develop a bit of a trough, and that makes for an interesting pattern here where we get another front coming out of the plain states, and that front comes down into our area on Sunday, and it looks like we could see showers once again Saturday and Sunday. And by Monday, the GFS is establishing a pretty nice little shortwave over the Carolinas and southeast Georgia, and with that, a great deal of nervousness over Florida and down into the Caribbean. Now, the GFS has been forecasting something down there, and it cuts off a little low over Florida. Now, this is interesting because if this cutoff occurs, where is it going to be? Is it going to be where the GFS is showing it, over Florida, or will it be a little further east or a little further west? But wherever it is, it's going to be the source for a good deal of showers, and this is June 3rd. Now, GFS not as bullish on any kind of tropical system, and by June 4th, it is showing a little surface low over South Florida with a lot of precipitation over the Bahamas. So we're going to be watching that carefully. By Saturday the 7th, that short wave is still over the extreme southeastern part of the United States, and that keeping the weather rather unsettled over much of the southeast and especially over Florida. And then a little further out into Voodoo Land, the ridge seems to come back, but we do have a pretty strong westerly flow. The question is going to be how far south does that westerly flow come, and it does look like with the weak ridge over us, we'll be in a showery situation. So it does look kind of interesting over the next couple of weeks. We appreciate you tuning in to the Weather Xtreme video. I should have the next one posted around between 7 and 8 on Wednesday morning. Have a great day, and God bless.